How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Cure Dream figure. So the front of the packaging, you have a nice window display to see the whole figure, and you have these nice patterns on it as well. It's a really nice presentation, and then a nice pink color scheme to go with the box as well. Moving on to the top, you can see a bit more into the figure, and then you just have the name on both sides. You got some legal stuff for the bottom. And in the back you have nice pictures of the figure. And then to open the figure, just slide open the side flap and pull out the figure like so. And then to open the figure, you just lift open the top cover. And there's the figure all together with its accessories. So here's the actual figure, and this is actually the very second S.H.Figuarts that Bandai has released. So it's quite an older figure, and I'm sure it'll be very evident as the video goes on. But although it's an old figure, it's still pretty nice looking. You can tell that some of the joints and stuff are a bit dated now, and some proportions of the character are a bit off, but other than that, the whole figure itself still looks pretty nice. So you still have nice detailing on the clothes, all the parts are nicely sculpted, and you have nice glossy finish for the bow here, while the rest of the body is a nice matte finish. And then looking at the face, although it's an older figure, I still feel that they really captured the likeness of the character. Really looks like her from all the angles. And then the eyes are nicely painted in as well. And then the hair is nicely sculpted. You have the iconic loops for both pigtails. And then these parts are softer material, so you don't have to worry about them breaking. Same for the bows. Moving down to the hair, again nicely sculpted. It is a very solid piece, so it's going to restrict quite a bit of movement. But it's not so back heavy that it will affect the figure. So for articulation, the neck is on a double ball joint, so she can look down about that much and then look up, but the hair does restrict it. Tilt her head side to side and also rotate as well. And then the shoulder is on a ball joint, and then there's this kind of piece that kind of cuts around the joint, so you can't really move it around too much, but there is a hinge. So you can bring her arm out to the side, and then you can bring her arm forward as well, but due to the sculpt, it is coming out at an angle. And then that's the same going back as well. And then she's got the bicep swivel as well as single jointed elbows, and then she's got the ball jointed wrists as well. And then she's got a double jointed torso, so you can lean forward about that much, lean back that much, and then tilt side to side as well as twist. And then these skirt pieces are actually softer material, and this piece is actually a floating piece as well. So it really doesn't hinder too much of the range. And then she's got the old style hip joints, so she can bring her leg out about that far to the side. And then she can kick forward about that much, but the skirt does restrict it a bit. And she can kick back about that much, not a whole lot. And then there is the thigh swivel. And then she's got single jointed knees as well. But it is an old style knee, so it does look a bit odd when you do bend them. So she's got ball jointed ankles and go back about that much. Forward, not a whole lot due to the sculpt. We can swivel as well as twist. And that's it for articulation. So although she's an old figure, she still has most of the articulation you'd expect a Figuarts figure to have. And for the most part, they are executed well, but because it's an older figure, some of the joints do tend to show up quite noticeably. And that's the figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. So for faces, she comes with a default happy smiling face. And then she also comes with an angry shouting face. And in the early figures of Figuarts, it's difficult to swap out the face. So to do that, you pull the whole head off. And then you remove the hair, but then you also need to remove the whole head from the hair. And then you just swap on the face that you want. And it is quite difficult pulling the face apart and putting it back together. So that's my only main gripe with the older figures, but it still works in the end. So she does come with a pair of fists which come on default in the packaging. Also 2 open palmed hands and 1 hand to hold her sword. And then this is the sword itself. It's very nicely sculpted. You can see all the detail at the handle. There's a nice blend of white and pink together. And the blade itself starts off from a pink and fades into a red. Looks really nice. And it is quite flexible, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. So my final thoughts are, although this is an old figure, I still feel that it's pretty good. But despite that, I still feel that she's a really nice looking figure overall. And if you can look past the odd joints that show up every now and then and the odd way to swap out the faces, then I'm sure you won't be disappointed with this purchase, especially if you're a fan of the character. Well, that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.